Good day to you all, whoever you are, have tuned into this little video here we have, which we're calling Faucettville History. And Faucettville was a neighborhood in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It was Delaware Township when most of these videos were shot. And it was a little conclave of homes in a compound that were all relatives. Both of them were relatives. They all came out of the Faucett family. One of our aunts bought a piece of ground, and then it ended up getting split up between her brothers and sisters, and everybody lived in the same thing. The only two surviving people who know anything about any of this stuff are on your screen right now, okay? And that's me, and I'm Robert Faucett, Bob Faucett, Bobby Faucett for many of you. And Tom, introduce yourself.
I'm Tom Faucett, John Les Faucett's son, and Marion Faucett's son. And I've lived here myself practically all my life.
Tom still lives in one of the houses of one of the homes of Faucettville. And by the way, my mom and dad was Walt and Jane Faucett.
Yeah, the house that I was raised in is still there next door. The house I'm in now was originally Walt and Jane's house. We tore it down about 10 years ago and built a new house on the same foundation. And we're still here, still in Faucettville, lone survivors.
So a couple of 20 years ago or so, I had a bunch of 8mm films that I came upon that were my father's and heirs that I had digitized. And 20 years ago, I lost the doggone file. I didn't have it. And only in the last couple of weeks, I was rooting through my computer and stumbled on these videos in a place where they didn't belong, okay? But suddenly I was able to recover them, and I've kind of pieced them together as best I can. Pretty much, I try to be chronological order, but I thought it would be a good idea to have me and Tommy watch these movies, maybe stop and pause and chat a little bit, and we might be able to add a little, let's call it local color, all right? But so this neighborhood was about maybe 2 miles. How far are you from Haddonfield, Tommy?
Oh, mile and a half tops.
Yeah, right. And it's before you get to the New Jersey Turnpike crossing on Kresson Road, Kresson, Kresson Road. But again, the mailman used to call this Faucettville because it was full of faucets, all right? So we're going to start the video now and maybe stop and chat a little bit about it. This first video is a picture of who we've concluded is my older brother, Sonny, Walter Faucett. And he's playing either with his father or, which is my father, and his twin brother, George. At the age that they are now, we can't tell the difference, all right? But they were identical twins. But that's what, so he's playing with them, and then we'll continue along. So, and the goat, whoever the hell the goat was. So this is Sonny and either Uncle George or Uncle Walt, whatever your perspective. And the goat. We think the goat was Uncle George's, and he lived in the front house in front of us, front of where Tommy lives. I didn't know who that young woman was that was in that video too. That could have been some of the Benetham girls.
This is all before my time.
Oh yeah, we weren't, neither Tommy or I were born. My older brother there, we think that's Mary, one of our cousins. That we think is Uncle Pete, who built the house in Faucettville. If you notice, it was all used lumber. There's not a new piece of lumber in that house. But everybody was on a budget. None of us were of means. We got more and more prosperous over time. This is also Sunny, which is obviously around Halloween or something. But and we think that woman is a cousin, one of our older cousins. Our Aunt Stella, had 3 daughters by her first marriage, and those were the oldest of the Faucett kids. Sonny passed away in 2017. These videos were taken by one of those cousins that I mentioned shortly ago. Aunt Stella's kids, it was Bertie. And here they are. It's quite the picturesque. I'm going to give us a little music. You know who that is, Tom, right?
Yeah.
Tell him who it is.
That's Mom. Hi, Mom.
Go ahead, Tom.
There's my dad. Yeah. And I guess he's holding Butch, isn't it?
That's Butch. Butch is Tom's older brother. What was that horse's name? Anybody know? Ginger.
I was just going to say, yeah.
That's Butch.
Yeah.
And that's my brother.
That's
This
funny.
is some years later because these kids are older than they were with the goat.
Yeah.
That's Georgie's mother. That's Georgiana Faucett. It's Marion again and Georgiana. These women at this time are probably in their late 20s, I want to guess. That we're pretty sure that's Georgie.
That's Georgie, yeah.
He was my cousin, our cousin, and he was a year older than I was, so I was somewhere probably in a cradle somewhere. And you can see here behind him is one of the greenhouses that Uncle George maintained. Uh-oh, your mom. All right. This is Butch again. Butch was kind of in joint custody during these years, and he lived with his mom, and then he would come and visit his dad and Tom's mother on weekends. Now he was going home. There he goes. I'm not sure who that is. That might be Georgie too. I think that's who that is. That's Sonny again.
Yeah.
Now that's the house. I don't know what you want to call that house. Tom, he's still there.
What's that?
That was the Benetham house.
Oh,
This is the way it looked. Everybody grew stuff around us. Okay, there were enough fields. There was an orchard. This is the house that Tommy lives in now, but of course it's gone now. This was that house in the 50s. That was the George and Georgiana's house. You can see, they were all farmers. They grew up on a farm. All these Faucetts.
Yeah, well, they worked at Barton's farm down the road too.
That's where they grew up. That's where they grew up as kids because their father was the foreman of that farm. But see, they all grew stuff. Their whole lives they grew stuff. I shouldn't say their whole lives. As they got older, they got into other things. There's that house.
I'll watch this and see how the place has changed around here. Yeah, see to the right where it wasn't done. That's where the young couple added their addition. It's the only thing that's changed on that house.
I think this is one of the cousins, the older cousins. That's where they grew up. That's Sonny. Well, he was the photo boy on
Yeah.
This is Aunt Georgiana, Uncle George, and I don't know who the other person is, but he raised pigs. And there he is, playing with the hogs. I don't know who's to the left of Aunt Georgiana. They were farmers. That's what they did. In later life, see, that's one of the Benetham girls was in that fence. In later life, they would raise Easter flowers, so they'd put them in the fall. This is my mom. This is Jane Faucett. And again, she can't be much older than in her 20s. Uncle George and Uncle Walt, and Walt, my dad and Uncle George, and my mom and his wife, that you saw earlier, they got married in a joint ceremony in Elkton, Maryland, on the same day. They they all ran away and eloped. So that's that house in one of its first iterations. That's actually the second iteration. The first iteration was a kitchen, a bathroom, and an outhouse. There's my mom again. That's Georgiana. That's Uncle George. all comedians. All of our uncles were comedians, right, Tom?
Yes, got that right.
They were funny guys, my mom again. But to her right is on the the west side of the drive. Now this is Tommy, I think. Tommy, this is you and your mom.
That me there?
I think so. Who else could it be?
Who's that handsome little kid?
Now that's between Aunt Mary's and the Bennett and Plaskett house.
Yeah.
And that's Mary and Georgie playing in the dirt there. That's Aunt Mary running away. Aunt Mary was one of the Faucetts. That's Tommy's dad.
That's Dad, yeah.
That's Georgiana again. They all smoked. Everybody smoked.
Yeah.
That's Aunt Stella. She was the oldest Faucett girl. Our grandmother died in childbirth before we were all born, like in the 30s sometime. And those aunts, Aunt Stella, Aunt Mary, they were the oldest of the family. They pretty much raised the boys. There were 4 other boys, all right? I don't know who those women are. That's Georgie and Mary. Now we're moving, we've worked into the 60s now, or 50s. Now we're in the 50s. That's my mom, now in the 50s. It's a Christmas dinner. That's myself.
Yep.
And the little kid is Billy, my brother, who was 7 years younger than me. He was born in 1950. I was born in 43. There's my dad. Obvious Christmas dinner. That's Billy. Billy, the youngest brother, and my oldest brother, they died within 10 days of each other a couple years ago. Tough week. That's Aunt Stella. She eventually moved down to Long Beach Island in Beach Haven. So that's my mom and dad. I don't know who the kid is to the right. It could be Billy, but I don't think so. That's when my dad ran did a Volkswagen.
I remember the Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a picnic in the back of our house. We had a large woods behind our house, a large forest, and we played in all the time. Huh? So that's my dad heading to the house. This is what the house looked like a few years later. That's a bell. That school bell there. That's my grandmother on my mother's side. That school bell was the way my mother called us. She would ring. We each had all the boys had. That's my mom. That's Aunt Mary's house, straight behind her. Here's the bell. I was 3 rings.
I remember that bell too.
That's my grandfather on my mother's side. That's my grandmother on my mother's side. That's Uncle Charlie. That's a Mag. It's a little fast moving here, folks. That's Charlie and Mary. That's my aunt on my mother's side there. Is that Dorothy or Mary? That's Aunt Mary. That's Mary.
That's Mary, yeah.
That's Dottie Hatcher.
Yeah.
Her maiden name was Dottie Neal. Aunt Mary used to take in foster children, but she didn't have any children until very late in life when Mary was born. That's a child she adopted. That's Dorothy. These are friends of my mother's family. That's a friend of my mother's family. That's Patty. Remember Patty and Mickey lived in the neighborhood, Tom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think this is you, that little blonde-haired kid, Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's probably Billy on the tractor.
Actor, yeah.
That's the orchard that was between us and the Derengowskis, which was to the west of the house that we grew up in, where Tom lives now. That was an orchard that was rarely taken care of, so the apples are full of worms. This is Derengowski's tractor. I think that's Mark Derengowski there between the tractor and the trailer. I guess they're harvesting apples.
Yeah, always have plenty of apples.
Yeah, that's Eileen Derengowski. I think that's me and my brother Billy. This is the house the way it was when Tommy bought it.
Yep. Yeah. That was the newest addition on that, wasn't it?
Yes,
Room,
that
yeah.
living room, that living room. Yep. That's my dad. So this is, and my mom. My mom died in 1963. She was a twin, so she had a congenital heart problem. And she passed away. She passed away the day that me and what would be my future wife graduated from high school. That's me and Billy and my mom and one of Dad's hound dogs. And that's me and Billy and the hound dog and Dad. Where's this, Tommy?
That's that the Deer Club Oriental? Oh, yep, there we go. Yep, tabernacle there, yeah.
These are the guys, our family, our grandfather, who neither me nor Tommy ever met, he was one of the founders of this golf course. We're golfers, okay, we're not hunters. But every deer season, there we were.
It's still there.
Still there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's Dottie and her little girl. And she was married to Charlie Hatcher, Tom.
Yeah, yeah.
Charlie got killed in a car accident.
Oh, yeah.
And the bell's still there. I think that's Billy out there.
I was just going to say that was your yard, but there was the bell was there.
Yep. He was a scooch. I think that, I was trying to figure out who that is. You know who that is? That is Al Lanning.
Oh, okay.
That's because here's Mary Lanning.
Mary Lanning, yeah.
Mary Lanning was one of Aunt Mary's early foster children. And then she eventually took in also her sister, her brother, Charlie.
Yeah.
This is my dad. I don't know where we are here. I'm sorry, this is so bad. Well, that's Annette. That's my older brother's first wife. And that's Sonny. Now he's 17, 18, who knows how old.
Yeah.
That's Tommy's house right behind him, right to the left there. What he grew up in, not his house today.
Yeah.
Hello, Debbie.
Hey.
Okay. That's Annette. That's Sonny's first wife. There's Sonny in his first car. Don't say anything bad, Debbie. We're recording.
Yeah. See, he's got it up there.
Showing off.
Yeah.
What was your first car, Tommy?
My first car was a 57 Chevy.
Oh, okay. Mine was a 56 Plymouth.
Okay.
Or 55 Plymouth. This is the house, the way the house pretty much was when Tommy took it over.
Yep.
The whole front. Now we're into the 60s. It is, okay, here we go. This is our home. This is 1966. I lived in the house for a short period of time after my father remarried. And this is my son, Rob's. That's not my wife, it's her girlfriend. That's my wife. This was Rob's first birthday. So we know that this was May 31st, 1966.
Yeah.
That's Carol Ann's dad. Me and Carol Ann. My wife of now 57 years. How many years you got under your belt?
52?
You have to ask?
Yeah. We'll go with 52.
Okay. All right. These are all our friends and relatives. There's Mary Mag right there.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. That's a high school girlfriend of Carol Ann's. Her brother. Her dad. That's a big field that was behind us, or that's on the other side of the orchard. That was behind Darengowski's house, Tom.
Yeah. That's all houses over there now.
Yeah. At this time, Barclay farmhouses were behind us. You see them, the fence?
Yep.
That's my father and his second wife. That's Carol Ann's mom. We only lived there for a short period of time. I went broke and had to move back into my father's house. It's Bernie. Bernie, remember Bernie, Tom?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
He's
What a
still,
character.
he's still down in Cape May.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the orchard and the Derengowski Field on the other side.
Yeah. All houses now.
I know.
Six houses in there.
I try to sell that property to Barclay,
Yeah.
whoever the developer was.
Oh yeah.
And Mary behind.
Scarborough was big time.
Scarborough, that's who I tried to sell it to, yep.
Yeah.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is it.